Hello everyone, this week's Parashat Korach. The desert was still, but underneath tension boiled. Korach, a prince, a Levite, a man of stature, rises up, not with swords, but with words. Why you, Moshe? Why him, Aaron? We are all holy, he cried. But the Zohar whispers, he said we, but he meant me. There are wars of bombs and fire, and there are wars of ego, dressed in idealism. Korach's war was the second kind, and today we've seen both. Iran's missiles fell like rain, hundreds of rockets, screams in the night, children asleep in safe rooms. We prayed, we held each other, and we rose again. But who will rise from within the chaos? The Zohar teaches Korach was not evil. He was brilliant, but he used truth without humility. He wanted spirituality without submission. He thought the crown, not the call. And so the earth split, not in wrath, but in clarity, to show that holiness is not claimed, it's received. It is not shouted, it is lived. And from the silence, another voice begins to rise, soft, true, steady, the voice of the convert, the voice of those who say, I came not to take, but to join. I came not to lead, but to serve. I come not because of war, but despite it. We've just lived through days of fear. Our skies lit with fire, our nation tested. And in those days, we saw what Korach did not, that greatness lies in standing together, in unity, not rebellion, in humility, not ambition. And the convert who leaves everything behind, who walks through fire, who risks rejections, is the ultimate answer to Korach, not born into holiness, but choosing it. The earth opened beneath Korach, but from that abyss, something else was planted. A seed, a spark, a future. From rebellion came reflection. From war came awakening. From collapse came commitment. The ground may shake, but the soul can still rise. And in every convert, in every Israeli walking out of a shelter into the morning light, we hear it, the whisper of heaven saying again, this is my people, and I am their God. And now we step into the month of Tammuz, a month that begins with the light of Rosh Chodesh, but carries the weight of memory. This is the month when the walls of Jerusalem began to break, when what was strong became vulnerable, when the branches of the outside world found cracks in the inside. And yet, even in Tammuz, there is renewal. Even as we remember collapse, Rosh Chodesh reminds us of creation, of starting again, of saying, despite it all, I choose holiness, I choose hope, I choose to rebuild. The story of Korach doesn't end with a fall. It ends with a choice to become like him or to become like those who rise from silence and choose God anew. And that is the work of Tammuz, to notice the cracks and fill them with light, to hear the echoes of pride and answer with humility, to see the breach and begin to rebuild the soul. Because every Rosh Chodesh is a new moon, and even the smallest sliver of light, it's a promise that we're not alone. Shabbat Shalom.